and was getting ready to go off to Georgia College. And I don't know about you guys, but when you know that you're going to have a random roommate, that is a very scary thing. Because some people might end up with a great roommate, but others it might be a horror story, right? You just don't know. And so I was getting ready to go off to college and spending my summer with my church like I normally did. We had stopped at McDonald's and my phone starts to ring. And I don't know the number, and I answer the phone, and it's this girl, and she says she's going to be my roommate, and she wants to know if I'm going to bring the microwave or if she should. And I'm like, why is she so on top of things? I wasn't even thinking about this. And we had this very awkward conversation in the McDonald's parking lot on the phone, and I had no idea at the time that that was basically the start of what would turn into like the most special friendship of my life. So we move in college to Georgia College together. We're living in Bell Hall, and I can't describe how blessed I was to have a roommate who would read her Bible every day. A roommate who would sit there, and she brought her guitar, and she has the most like precious little singing voice ever, and she would just sit there, and she would sing hymns. She would sing Christian songs, and she would even sing Taylor Swift songs when I requested it. And so I was just like, how on earth did I get such an angel of a random roommate that I was blessed with this soul? And I can't tell you how much she's inspired me as a person to be the person I am today. So much of it stems because of her faithfulness. And so I can just remember that first year that we lived together, our first year of college. Abby and Jenny over there were great friends of ours, and we would sit in our dorm rooms on our computers with Pinterest open, looking and planning our weddings, right? I don't know, any other girls do that, but we did all the time. And we were just dreaming about, what's her wedding going to be like one day? Who are we going to marry one day? What's it going to be like? And like for Amiel, I mean, she hadn't had a boyfriend up until this point. And so for her, it was just this dream. That's not a roast. That's not a roast. But she, maybe a little roast, I'm just kidding. But she hadn't had a boyfriend, and so for her, she had this just dream in her head of, who would be the person God brings into her life. And I know, when you're waiting and waiting, sometimes it can be so impatient. Like, I just want him here. I want my Pinterest wedding just to come true. I'm ready for it. But she remained so faithful and true because she knew exactly what she needed. She knew the person and the individual that she needed to be her husband. And because of her patience and her prayers for years, guys, I mean, we prayed about this for years. At one point, I was, checking Facebook, probably in the middle of my own Pinterest thing, and I noticed that she was in a relationship. And I'm like, I don't know this guy. Guys, I met Chris for the first time today. So I was like, yesterday, just kidding. And so I don't know this guy. This is like back in 2018. I was like, I hope he meets up to these standards that we have in place. We have a plan, okay? Me and Amia, we've got a plan for what we want for this whole part of our life. And after talking with Amiel and getting to know Chris and getting to see his family and just getting to know his story, I am just so happy that the two of y'all found each other. That Chris, you are exactly the person that Amiel has been praying for years. And that as I'm looking around this room at all of her family and friends and Chris's family and friends and just the combination of these two families, it's just like all of our Pinterest dreams came true in the most beautiful way. And I just am so grateful that God brought you into my life. You have no idea how much you mean to me and how much you've inspired me. And I will always just be such supporters of the two of y'all. I'll always be here for you guys and praying for you. And Chris, thank you for being the exact person that Amiel needed. And I know that she's exactly what you needed as well. So I wish you all the best to Chris and Amiel.
Thank you, Gloria. That was really sweet. And so I've got notes, but another story just came to mind that I have to share. Don't get scared. It makes me look bad. So when we were little, one of our favorite things to do was Mama always had us, clean the room. And the favorite thing for us to do was we would play princess and servant. And I always played the princess. And little bathrobe tie, you know, those little sweater bathtub, or not bathtubs, bathrobes, the little sweater bathrobes, and it had a little tie belt. And so Amiel would go around cleaning up the room, and I would say, "Clean up, servant." Well, today she got to be the princess, and I got to be the servant. So I'm really thankful. But I wanted to share another one of my favorite memories. It was from when we were little, and Aunt Tanya, where did Aunt Tanya go? Oh, over there. Aunt Tanya took us to the mall to just treat us girls and have some girl time. And she decided that she wanted to buy us calendars as a gift. And she kept insisting that you and I get 2 calendars, one that each of us liked. Well, the funny part was that we stood there together at the checkout line, and we were just shaking our heads saying, "No, this one Lizzie McGuire calendar is good. Why would we get 2 of them?" We had always shared everything back in Russia, and Aunt Tanya, of course, insisted. She said, "No, you each need to have your own." So we were just confused and went back and grabbed an identical Lizzie McGuire calendar, which we shared both. Everything I ever had was always yours, and vice versa. And as kids, of course, that was not always what we wanted in every single moment, but as we grew older and we were forced to separate, especially going off to college, my going off to college, I think we both felt that gap. I hated any birthday that I couldn't share with you, a feeling that I have on every birthday, still to this day. With just 2 days between us, 2 years and 2 days, it just doesn't feel normal to be separated. It's kind of like us being twins without being twins. But now, you have an even closer friend. You'll be closer friends than we ever could have been, and you're starting a new life, sharing everything and even more. I'm thankful that you'll always have that person with you to always celebrate your birthdays, to laugh with, to fuss with, which will inevitably happen, and to share your calendars with. I praise God for the witness that you both are going to hold, and I know, Amiel, that you constantly have been a spiritual encouragement to me. And I know that the both of you working together is going to be what will produce kingdom growth. And so I'm thankful for this. Thank you for being the best sister a girl could ask for. And thank you for being my absolutely first best friend. I love you very much.
All right. So for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Drew. I was given the task of being Chris's best man. This is my first wedding being a best man, so hope I followed up pretty well to your standards. Hope I met your standards. Y'all just bear with me. I have a script. So Chris and I met 15 years ago, back in 2006. Man, we are old. We met as freshmen at Augusta Christian, where we both went to high school. We didn't just casually run into each other in the hallways. We met over the ever so popular song, Soldier Boy. Everybody remembers the old song, Soldier Boy. Man, and Chris taught me these moves, and I have never seen a white boy dance like a true white boy until that very day. And I also vaguely remember just connecting with him over the love for sports, especially the Braves. And as time passed by, Chris quickly became more than just a friend, but a brother that I never even had. We began hanging out, which felt like every other weekend, and soon every day, I always either talked to him, saw him. Chris was always there. And we also played lots of late night video games as well, sleepovers, late night games, so those were always to be had. It wasn't long after getting to know Chris that I invited him to church here at Warren. And after church, you can bet that he was always the first one to ask about lunch. Where are we going to lunch? Can I join y'all? And man, I was like, Chris, come on, man. You know, he really did just become like a brother to me. So we spent 4 years making some really good memories here at Warren, such as youth group beach trips, walk-ins, and much more. After we graduated high school, Chris went to Georgia and I stayed in Augusta for college. We didn't get to hang out much, but I really didn't see him for a while, but we still stayed connected, especially when we talked about our dating life, Atlanta sports, and just life in general. Bear with me. In 2017, our friendship grew when I was in grad school and he was back here working in Augusta. We attended the weekly College and 20s gathering on Monday nights, also here at Warren. It was then that I truly got to see Chris grow in his faith. During that season, we were part of several small groups together. With our community of young guys, we talked about life on a much deeper level. We prayed for each other when things weren't going well, and also when things weren't going as well, when we also faced lots of challenges. The following summer, Chris introduced me to this girl that he spoke so highly of. They spent quite a lot of time together. Chris sure couldn't stop talking about her either. He admired her heart for Jesus and passion for serving others. I finally got to meet Ami and got to witness their connection with each other. Chris knew within months that he wanted to marry this girl, and I was so excited for him. Since they met, I have spent lots of time with Chris and Ami. I have seen their love grow in their relationship, and more importantly, in their faith. They always put God first, and I can think of times whenever I would overhear them praying for each other on the phone or talking about scripture, which is really encouraging to see, especially having a great friend like Chris. Ami has brought out Chris's goofy side, and Chris has brought out Ami's adventurous, outgoing side. It has been a true joy to watch their relationship flourish. In 2019, I moved to Atlanta for a job opportunity, and Chris was still in grad school at Augusta University. When we would catch up on things, he would always ask me, "What is it like living in Atlanta?" Obviously, traffic is always the number one thing that always comes up, but that didn't keep him out of the big city. Once he got a job at Georgia State, he wanted to come and join in on the excitement. And after 14 years of friendship, we finally got a chance to be roommates within a couple of miles from the Braves Stadium. We have lived together over the past 8 months, and during this time, we have went on hikes together, played disc golf, prayed together, and have grew closer as brothers in Christ. We also spent countless dark, cold, and early mornings at Planet Fitness. Man, those were some dark, cold mornings for sure. But we always make sure to hold each other accountable, stay healthy and fit as the big day approached. And dang, don't we look good? Don't we look good? Chris and I have had many solid memories over the years, but I know for a fact that today will be one of my favorites as I stood by his side as his best man. As we have all seen, he and Ami will honor and glorify God through their marriage. And I wish them the very best as they start the journey together. We're going to wrap this up. Is that right? Anybody have any words to say? Words of encouragement for Chris and Amiel? Okay, I think they're going to walk around and say their hellos, goodbyes, and then we'll wrap this thing up.
Where you went? What happened? Yeah.